English Transformations live daily coronavirus lockdown class. That's a bit of a mouthful, isn't it? Let's see if that's a bit louder. There we go. Anyway, hello. As I said, this is day 15 of our live classes that I'm doing for you because, my school has pretty much closed, thanks coronavirus. And lots of my students don't have work, they can't pay for classes, all their schools are closed, and they can't go to school. So I thought I would do this to give back to the community that gives me so much by teaching live every day, hopefully at 9:30 every day, and soon to be 2 or 3 times a day to help you guys even more and help me, actually, because if I didn't do this, I don't know what I would be doing. Probably playing Super Mario or Mario Kart with my children. That's pretty cool. And eating too much rubbish, for sure. Too much rubbish food, drinking too much beer. Beer o'clock, the time when we start drinking, is getting lower and lower and lower. Earlier for me. Which is not the best idea. Anyway, thank you for being here. Don't forget that you can comment, you can write examples, and I will correct them throughout the class. Today, we are going to continue with relative clauses. Yesterday, day 14, we looked at the basics of relative clauses. And hello, Alexander. Thanks for being here, buddy. We looked at relative clauses, just the basics, pretty much the basics, and how to make them, how to identify them, and then one of my best students ever, not the best, possibly, one of my best students asked, could we do part 2 of relative clauses? So that's what we're doing. I'm just having a look at some examples here. And I think I'm going to sneeze. Excuse me. Anyway, that was not a sneeze, that was a cough. Maria Gabriela Orozco. Hello, Gabby from Venezuela. How are you? So, my student asked, could we do part 2 of relative clauses? And I'm so lovely that I said, yes, we can do part 2 of relative clauses. So we will do that. It might not be super long, who knows, 20 minutes maybe, and then we'll have a look at 3 phrasal verbs and 3 more idioms, because Roxy liked learning those, and hopefully everybody else does. Good evening, and good morning, I suppose, to South America and Japan. Excuse me, there's lots of horrible noises coming out of me, isn't it? Where is the iPad? That's not the iPad. Excuse me, talking to myself. That is, and that can now change to this. Fantastic. We'll put me down in the bottom. Hello, in the bottom here. All right. So what I said is we're going to look at relative clauses, and this is going to be how to reduce relative clauses, and that means taking out the which or that or who or whatever word it is that you might be using. Reducing the sentence. Native speakers do this a lot. So if you want your language to be more native speaker-like, do this. Cool. And if you're doing tests, it can help your score. If you're doing TOEIC, for example, you might need to notice these things, and then that will help you in turn get a better score. As I said, if you would like to, let's go that one. If you have any questions or comments as we are going, please just put it in there and I will see it. So, how to reduce, get away. Not you, don't get away. How to reduce relative clauses. We're looking here. It says we can reduce if the antecedent is. Now there are a couple of rules about this antecedent. The antecedent being the noun before the relative clause, right? Paul, who is my teacher, Paul is the antecedent. It'll all be clear when we have a look. So we can reduce it if the antecedent is the subject of the relative clause. We can see that in an example here. Right? It says, no, I can't do that. Let's have a look. See, we got yes or no. This says no. If it's the subject of the relative clause, I cannot reduce it. So the first example we have is down here. It says the person who wants the phone is Bianca. The person who wants the phone is Bianca. That's good, right? That complete sentence. We've got, whoops. That's the relative clause, right? There's a terrible box around that. The person is Bianca. Who wants the phone? Well, here would be the subject of the relative clause, right? The person wants the phone. Hopefully you're with me. There's a lot of English teacher talk going on, but I think you can see it. So this complete sentence is good. Now, the person wants the phone is Bianca. If we're looking now down here, the person wants the phone is Bianca. No, it's terrible. It's not good. So that gets an unhappy face. And you can see, it says here, if the antecedent is the subject of the relative clause, we cannot reduce it. And it shows here in these examples. Cool? Just there and just there. Thumbs up if it makes sense. Thumbs down, I suppose, if it doesn't. Well, don't do that, don't do that. Just thumbs up. Tell me in the comments if you need other examples or whatever. And hello if you've just joined. Welcome. Thank you for being here. Got a lot of coughs today. Now, this next one. Well, let's have a look at the sentences. Have a look at this one. The phone that Bianca wants is expensive. Now, that's an example that we looked at yesterday. The phone that Bianca wants is expensive. Is that a good sentence? Well, yes, it is. It is a good sentence. Can we reduce it? Well, where is the relative clause? The relative clause is that Bianca wants. The phone would be there. It would be the direct object. So now I've got the phone Bianca wants is expensive. Is that good or not? Well, let's have a look. That's good. That's good. Let's have a look over here as well. Why is that not working? There we go. That's why. If the antecedent is the direct object of the relative clause, it comes immediately after the verb, then, come on pen, then yes, we can reduce it. So that example is equally good. The phone Bianca wants is expensive. Cool. And you really should write some examples. Kaz, I know you wrote some examples to Instagram yesterday. It was pretty late, and you did apologize, but I will have a look at those. Now the next examples. Down here. The school that I enrolled in is in Rabina. Well, that was our example yesterday, and that's good. Now we're here. The school I enrolled in is in Rabina. Is that good? Let's have a look at the rule. Bingo. Was his name-o. It says the indirect object. If the antecedent, the thing before the relative clause, is the indirect object of that relative clause, then yes, we can. Cool? And so this sentence is good. Look at that. The school I enrolled in is in Rabina. Native speakers often do this. They remove that or which or whatever the word you choose to use might be. If the antecedent is the direct object or the indirect object, but not if it is the subject. You really should write some examples using this. Let's have a look at some other examples. So, we're down here. We're looking at these two examples. That's a terrible, terrible arrow, Paul. We're looking at these example sentences. The girl who is dancing over there is my daughter. The girl who is dancing over there is my daughter. Is that sentence good or not? Where is the relative clause and the antecedent? Well, let's have a look. We know that the antecedent is immediately before the relative clause. So we're going to go here. Who, and over there. The girl is my daughter, right? The girl is my daughter. That's cool. Is dancing over there. Is dancing over there. Can I say that? Of course not. What's missing? A subject. Well, the girl is dancing over there, right? So the girl is my daughter. The girl is dancing over there. In the relative clause, something's missing. The subject is missing. Can I reduce a sentence if the antecedent is the subject of the relative clause? Well, no. It says no. So is that sentence good or bad? Well, that's good because it's the complete sentence, so that's okay. But how about this one down here? The girl dancing over there is my daughter. I've taken out the relative clause word. I've taken out who. But the antecedent was the subject. Is it good? The girl dancing over there is my daughter. Good or bad? It's actually good. God, you have to love English if you've got me as your teacher. So it is good. Well, why is it good? Because of this big rule over here. If, remember we're up here. If the antecedent is the subject of the relative clause, it is, and a be verb is immediately after the relative clause, well, it is. We've got is, right? That's a be verb. That's immediately after the relative clause word. Bingo. So we can. Well, what do we do? If you take out the relative clause marker, you must take out the be verb. And now it's okay. Now we've got all these rules as to how we can reduce a relative clause. So we can write two simple sentences, maybe. If the second one describes the first, we can put them together to make a relative clause. And then we know all of these rules over there about how we can reduce it and make it even better. So writing, speaking, whatever it might be, it just makes your language a little bit better. A little bit. And of course there is a little bit more to it. You will write and make mistakes, but that's pretty cool, I think. If you have any comments or you would like to write your example sentences, please do. I will have a look at them, even though I'm going to move on now to phrasal verbs. If you write some examples that you would like me to correct, please do so, and I will correct them as we go. Cool? Cool. Let's go over here. Let's go there. Another one. Dun, dun, dun. Phrasal verbs. Phrasal verbs first. Just 3 this time. 3 today. Quick live class today because I have to go to my orchard. I'm going to my orchard. This is not a phrasal verb. An orchard is like a fruit farm, and I'm renting one. with my friends. So I'm kind of going to be a farmer, and I have to go there very shortly, which means soon. So no, that's just on my iPad. Sorry. So no longer class today. Phrasal verbs. And Alex. The book which was promised for me was sent. That's very, very true. I did send it eventually. Well, I sent you the link code, so hopefully you went and got that. It's really cool, man. Those things. Rob and I spent a lot of time on those. We sell that package I gave you. We sell those for $84, which is a strange price. But there you go, and you are welcome to it, and your lovely wife. Your kids will probably be bored. I should write a video game for it. Anyway, phrasal verbs. We've got just 3, and the first one, not there. The first one is act on. Act on. And this means to take action on information provided. So maybe you might say the police acted on information from the public. The public, us, we gave them some information, they acted on it. It means they followed up and they did whatever they have to do based on information provided by somebody from the public. Cool? Yes, Paul. Cool. Now let's go to the next one. Wait. Good. The next one here. Act out. Act out is to perform. So if you're doing a play, well, that's it. Act out. We acted out a scene from a play. Super, super simple. This one I love. It's my kids through and through. It really means act up, means to behave badly. My kids didn't get any eggs for Easter because they have been acting up recently. Let's move those. Cool. My kids didn't get any eggs for Easter because they have been acting up recently. It just means behaving badly. They have been behaving badly. Act up. That's quite a common one for people to use to describe their kids. Cool. People are back. Some people disappeared. I wonder where you were going. Again, if you'd like to write some examples, you might understand these things. You might understand phrasal verbs grammar. If you've just joined us, we learnt about reducing we learnt about reducing relative clauses, and now we're looking at phrasal verbs. If you'd like to write your examples, that's cool. Oftentimes people understand, but when you use it, you get it a little bit wrong. And that's cool. That's okay. All right, let's go here. So act up, act out, and act on. And now we're going to look at some idiomatic language, some idioms. I use this one all the time. Hang on. All the time. And what does hang on mean? Hang on means to wait. Briefly. So if you go to the doctor's and you have to wait, you're told to sit and wait for the doctor, well, that's probably going to be half an hour, 45 minutes or more, depending on how busy your doctor is, of course. So no, but they wouldn't say hang on. But if it's just a little bit, if you just have to wait briefly, then they might say hang on. And it's often hang on a sec, that's supposed to be tick, hang on a tick, hang on a moment, hang on a minute. See, second, right? Second, and tick come from the clock. Tick, tock, tick, tock, tick, tock. They're seconds. So this is time from a clock, very, very short time, the smallest counter of time we have. Hang on a second, hang on a tick, hang on a moment, hang on a minute. All of these mean wait briefly. Cool? Of course cool. Why am I asking cool? Everything's cool. Next, next, next. So hang on means wait briefly. Then we've got hang in there. Hang in there doesn't mean wait. It just means don't give up. All right, let's have a look at this. Sorry, we will get rid of don't give up and hang in there because we've got an example. So let's fix that. The person who is my friend is a teacher. Can it be the person my friend is a teacher? Not like that. Good example, Kaz. Nice one. Tricky example. Good question. The person, my friend, is a teacher. If you put a comma here, either side becomes the appositive. It's noun, comma, noun, comma. It sounds horrible, doesn't it? But you are here watching and asking. If you do that, yes, it's going to be, we can say my friend to refer to the person I'm talking to, right? So Kaz, if I'm talking to you, I might say, hey Kaz, my friend, and I'm referring to you. So sometimes in English that happens when this reference can be confusing. Like the son told his father he was not happy. Or is it the son that's not happy or the father? Who knows? So yes, but put the commas, it's going to be much better. Still be careful. Cool. Better to probably try to use it, that relative clauses, reducing, try to use it in a continuous tense. So my example was the girl who is dancing over there, the people who are playing soccer, the person who is eating loudly. Try to do it with the continuous tense in the relative clause, and nearly every time you're going to be right. So that's how you can do it. Cool? Continuous tense. So let's get rid of that. Thank you very much for your question. As always, Kaz. All right. We are back to idioms. It was hang in there. Whoops. And hang in there means don't give up. Cool? If you are having a problem, if you think you're not going to pass the test, and you keep trying, and it is hard, well, hang in there. Don't give up. You can do it. Cool? Of course, cool. And the last one, it's not rocket science. Now this is, as you can see, it's a sentence. It usually comes, it can be on its own. It's not rocket science means it's not complicated. Something's easy. So if someone is saying, well, I don't know how to do this, come on, it's not rocket science. They're trying to tell you in a not so nice way that it's easy and you should be able to do it. Cool? It's not rocket science. Because rocket science is very difficult. Learning how to make rockets go into the sky or into space, that's hard. So if we say it's not rocket science, that indicates something is easy, it is not complicated. Cool? Cool. All right, let's have a look. Sorry. Okay, that's crystal clear. Fantastic, Kaz. I'm glad it's clear. Glad you understood. Awesome. All right. Let's put that on there. I prefer to do a longer class, an hour minimum. However, as I said, I do have to go soon-ish. So that's the end for today. What's that? That's horrible, isn't it? That's better, maybe. That's the end for today. Thank you very much. We did look at reducing relative clauses, 3 phrasal verbs and 3 idioms. If you would like to send me your example sentences or anything you'd like to see, then please do so via @EnglishTransformation on Instagram or in the comments here, or however it might be. I'll be back tomorrow with another class. Thank you very much. Have a great day or a great evening. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't done so already, and to tell your friends, because I'd love to help more and more people. So, take it easy, guys. See you later.